Hi everyone, I'm Dr. John Douillard, and today I want to talk about our new circadian medicine masterclass that's going on right now. It's free. It's for about 30 to 40 minute video lectures that I did to kind of educate folks about the amazing science that's emerging in circadian medicine and how that amazing science sort of supports, improves, and validates the Ayurvedic wisdom. Ayurveda 101 was all about circadian rhythms, how to live in sync with the natural cycles. And it's such a beautiful idea and such a beautiful concept. It's Nobel Prize winning science now. We should all be thinking about how we can reconnect with those natural rhythms of nature and how important that is. It's sort of like, how many of you feel exhausted at the end of your day? How many of you feel like you can't even make it through the day without a cup of coffee or a stimulant or dark chocolate or some type of mate or something, where you just need some injection of some sort to get through the day? This is an indicator that you're living against the grain, swimming upstream against the circadian rhythms, feeling exhausted at the end of your day, feeling exhausted at the end of your week. You have to recover on the weekends. You wake up tired, you wake up stiff, you wake up lethargic. What would it be like to wake up fresh with the sun? What would it be like to actually lose weight naturally and spontaneously, naturally ebbing and flowing with the seasons, but never feeling that you're overweight, always just feeling that your rhythms, your body rhythms, your body weight is in sync with the rhythms of nature. A little bit more extra weight in the winter to insulate you, but thin as you like to be in the spring and the summer. I mean, these are just the natural rhythms of nature that we should always be aware of, and that's what the Ayurvedic lifestyle is all about. So the Ayurvedic Masterclass, our Circadian Medicine Masterclass is going on now. Go to LifeSpa.com, click on it. You can get it. The first video already came out. That's all about the daily cycles. And the second video will come out, actually that's already out. That came out on yesterday, the 1st of September. And on the 5th, the third video comes out on the 10th. The fourth video comes out, and that's the last chance to sign up, and then you can watch all the videos. But it's sort of a limited time. You have to the 10th of September to get signed up and to watch these videos. So it's a really great course. It's a new course. It's something that everybody's we're getting tons of great feedback on. So don't miss it. It's such an important thing. And what I dug into, was the amazing science that supports the idea. Like in Ayurvedic medicine, we really believe, Ayurvedic believe, that breakfast was an important meal of the day. And in the world of intermittent fasting, time restricted eating, calorie restriction, everybody's eating like, okay, if you want to skip a meal, then the best meal to skip would be breakfast, because they say that it's, wake up, have some water, go to work, have lunch and have supper, and this way you can be home and eat with your family. And it's true that having supper in that regard is easier with regard to our social, responsibilities, being home with our family and eating supper together and all that. And that still gives you, from supper all the way to lunch the next day, a big kind of fasting, non-eating window. The problem with that is, according to Ayurveda and according to loads of scientific studies, skipping breakfast is actually quite detrimental. The studies show that having a breakfast lengthens your life. Having a breakfast instead of skipping your breakfast actually has been shown to support healthy weight loss and weight management. It's been shown to support healthy blood sugar, healthy blood pressure, reduce the risk of arterial plaque in your arteries. It's just, it goes on and on and on. The study, I wrote an article, I think it was called The 10 Scientific Reasons Why You Should Not Skip Breakfast. But just again, the circadian science says that our biological clocks start in the morning, and eating sort of kicks off those biological clocks so we stay in rhythm for the rest of the day. If you wake up and you stay out of rhythm and you never kickstart the rhythm, it throws your circadian rhythms out of whack. In a similar way, they did studies where they had groups of people eat a breakfast and a lunch, and then a lunch and a supper. And they had the exact same number of calories. There's many studies like this that I've written about over the years. And again, Ayurveda is all about have a nice big lunch, have a breakfast, big enough to get you to lunch, lunch, big enough to get you lunch, the biggest and most relaxing meal of the day, and supper is a supplemental or superficial meal. It was never meant to be the main meal of the day. You know, it's sort of like you drive your car on empty all day long, having a little tiny breakfast, a salad in front of your computer, you put $1 of gas in your car at breakfast, $1 of gas in your car at lunch, and then you come home at night, put the car in the garage and fill it up. Like, isn't it more relaxing to have a full tank in the morning so you know you're not going to run out of gas, as opposed to just, you know, nursing through, you know, the ether in the bottom of your tank with a little tiny breakfast and a little tiny lunch? It doesn't really make any sense, but that's what our culture has done. And it's not what our culture has always done. It's a modern application where Americans, for most of our existence as America, had lunches as the main meal of the day because it's the agricultural way that farmers did it. They were up early, had a breakfast, had a big lunch, and supper came from the word soup or supplemental, and they still do that throughout Europe as well. So when they had the groups that did breakfast and lunch, and then lunch and supper, same calories, the breakfast and lunch, they lost significantly more weight, their blood sugar was less, their lipid factors, cholesterol, triglycerides, they were more significantly better. I mean, the benefits of eating in rhythm with the natural cycles is so important. And then things like calorie restriction, where you just really eat less, or actually even fasting, for example. That goes into seasonal rhythms, and that's the video that comes out, that's out right now, the second video, where I go into the seasonal rhythms, where in the springtime, if you look around, there isn't a whole lot of food to eat. Where, you know, in the summer, where we're in now, the end of summer, everything's being harvested. I have a garden, we can't eat the stuff in my garden fast enough. You know, when fall comes and the grains and the root vegetables come out of the ground, there's going to be such an abundance of food, and the reason for that is to store a little extra layer of fat to build our reserves in our mammal kind of you know, family of mammals on this planet. This was the time they would do most of their mating in the fall, so the babies would be born in the spring. And I actually wrote an article called "Are We Seasonal Breeders as Humans?" You could read that and read all the science suggests that maybe at one point humans actually were seasonal breeders, because it really mattered when your baby was born based on where you lived, and if it was cold, if it was the ice age, those things really did matter. All again, circadian rhythms, how to live in sync with those natural cycles. So please check out the video. The one that's out now is about seasonal cycles. The next video that comes out is going to be about lunar cycles and monthly cycles and more tips. And then that final video, I actually give you my personal routine, my tips of what I do on a daily basis to support my personal circadian rhythms and how important those are to me, because I really do practice what I preach. I really love this knowledge so much, and it really did change my life in so many ways. I was diagnosed with high blood pressure when I was 28 years old, and I was exercising and meditating a lot, doing yoga a lot, and had high blood pressure. But I had a busy practice, and I was skipping my lunch and having a big breakfast and a big supper. All I did was start eating a big lunch and having a lighter supper, and my blood pressure went away and pretty much never came back. A few other little things helped me. The breathing techniques that I teach now, phenomenal. Nose breathing exercise, what I wrote about in my first book, helped me, and vitamin D helped, you know, really finish the job where my blood pressure now is just, I don't have that issue. So powerful things that are so simple about just living in the routine. And when you go downstream with the current in your life is like row your boat, right? Life's but a dream. It's just, you just feel like you're being pushed along as opposed to paddling like crazy to get through your day. I hope that makes sense. Please join us for our Circadian Medicine Masterclass. It's all free. And of course, you can get that at LifeSpa.com. Thanks for listening. I'm Dr. John Douillard.